as you all may have heard, and if you have not, well, let me be the first one to tell you that Ruth Bader Ginsburg, are lovingly denoted as RBG, the liberal Democrat in the Supreme Court, who is, feminist, feminist bellwether, good person all around. Earlier today, as of this recording, has lost her battle with cancer. She has passed away at the age of 87. Actually, it's not too young. Some people had a couple more years in them, but for all that she did, all the stress she probably went through for fighting for other people's rights, I can say, this is probably a great life that she lived, and I know she was able to touch a lot of people. We can read a little bit from this article from the Wrap about RBG for a second. Ginsburg, who was born in Brooklyn, upended the status quo through her life. She was most notably remembered for her precedent-setting legal work, co-founding the Women's Rights Project at the ACLU, and successfully arguing landmark cases before the Supreme Court concerning gender discrimination against women and men. In 1993, Ginsburg was nominated to the Supreme Court by then President Bill Clinton, becoming the second woman to serve on the highest court in the country. In making his announcement, Clinton said he believed Ginsburg would be a force for consensus building on the Supreme Court, and was too thoughtful to be pigeonholed into labels of liberal and conservative. But her time in the Supreme Court, Ginsburg has been known for her sharp liberal dissents. She also became a pop culture icon by the as the notorious RBG. Ginsburg has had a long and illustrious history in American politics, pushing for left-wing agendas, especially when it comes to gender discrimination, things like that. She's done a lot of great work. RBG, since Trump has been elected, has been looked at in a very different way, as someone who was on a limited amount of time, and some people even say borrowed time, with her a long-standing battle for cancer. If you didn't know, she was actually diagnosed with cancer over 20 years ago. Actually, in 1999, actually the same year I was born. Pretty sick. She was diagnosed with colon cancer back in 1999, and she's been fighting it on and off ever since, until obviously recently, where she lost it. But like I was saying, Ginsburg has been talked about for a long time, ever since Trump got elected. Looking at one of the failures for not pushing Obama's, one of lots of people were talking about one of Obama's failures, especially when he early got in, is not pushing RBG to step down for him to be able to replace her, especially at the beginning of his tenure, because for the rest of his presidency he wasn't able to get much of anything done, because Republicans took control of the House and the Senate in a pretty big way, especially in the 2010 elections. She's been looked at as someone who Trump and the Republicans have been trying to replace. They've been circling over her head like vultures ever since Trump's been got into office, trying to replace her. And it seems like with her passing, they finally get their wish. We can talk about this for a quick second. So at this very moment, probably, McConnell is calling up Trump, and Trump is calling up everyone else, and Trump is scouring the entire Republican legislative field to get a person to be nominated as quickly as possible. And McConnell and the rest of his goons are probably going to rush anything to get anything done. Call Senate sessions while the middle of supper, and in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. Call all the senators back to start working on getting this nomination pushed through as fast as possible, because it's no longer RBG who's on borrowed time. But oh my gosh, that was extremely loud. But also thank you Quentin for the host. I really appreciate that. That scared me a little bit. We're gonna turn that down for a second, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. But it's no longer RGB who's on borrowed time, but Trump, with his dwindling election chances and the specter of being kicked out of office and thrown in jail, being getting closer and closer every single day, with us being just a couple of less than 2 months. Actually, what is it? What is it now? What is it, like 5 weeks? Like less than 5 weeks away from the election. Trump is looking for something, and this is probably going to be it. They are going to be trying to push through this nominee as fast as possible, and this is really, really bad. And I am honestly not very confident in Schumer's ability to hold up anything or do anything to stop it, because he didn't do anything with Kavanaugh when it was pretty evident that he may be like a literal rapist. And they didn't even push it when it was found out that he lied to the Senate. They just didn't do anything about it. So I'm honestly very wary about trusting Schumer and his judgment when it comes to this. I really feel like he's just going to let this happen, and then the Supreme Court is going to go like 7-3, which is horrible. Like, think about this for a second. It's already hard to get things done when the liberals are already in the minority in the Supreme Court. Now the conservatives are going to not only have a majority, but a super majority. And they don't care about things like voting rights, civil rights, human rights, things like that. To get things passed. The only reason why people like Gorsuch voted the other way is because he just cares a lot about precedent. That's the only reason why he voted the way he did on the abortion bills. But now if this is able to get through, the right is going to have so much more cushion to allow people like Gorsuch to flip on things, because they'll have an extra 2 justices in the Supreme Court to be able to push through their their not very reasonable reading of the Constitution and the rights of this country, the rights and laws of this country. So where do we stand right now? Well, we have no clue. We have no word from McConnell. We have no word from Trump just yet on what's going to happen. Trump did recently release his his proposed list of Supreme Court justices, which included people like Tom Cotton and Ted Cruz. I think that was just for like the memes or whatever, but now he's actually going to have to try and pick someone, and they may even try to push something through on during the lame duck session. So what's going to happen? I have no clue. I guess we're going to, stay updated on it. I'll keep you guys updated on it. This is really unfortunate, and it's honestly really scary. I'm not sure where Biden stands on expanding the Supreme Court. Actually, let's see. Where does Biden stand on expanding the Supreme Court? But let's see. Supreme Court picks. He said, well, back in 2019, he said he opposes expanding the Supreme Court. I'm not sure where that stands right now. I'm not sure if that'll change. But he says that he won't, at least back in July. So we're just gonna have to see what this happens. I think that we have a pretty good reason to expand the Supreme Court, especially with what Mitch McConnell did back in 2016 to stop the nomination of Merrick Garland. But with with people like Mitch McConnell, oh man, you know what? Dude, there's no worse time to have such a garbage candidate like Amy McGrath running against Mitch McConnell. Yeah, it's the Supreme Court is at 9 right now. Expanding the Supreme Court would mean it would be expanded to 11. Also, what's up, Heterochrome? It's such a terrible time to be alive and have people as garbage as Amy McGrath running against Mitch McConnell and being down like 20 points right now. It's so garbage. He's not gonna get out of office. We're going to be stuck with McConnell for at least another 6 years, which is more than enough time to get another Supreme Court nominee through. I don't think that that Schumer is going to fight back very hard, and Pelosi isn't even going to be in the nominating process of the Supreme Court nominee. So this is It's all looking bad for this one. It's all looking real bad. I'll tell you that much. That's really unfortunate for everyone involved.